guys, another episode of Shellonomics is about to take place. We are talking the top 5 Donatellos. I'm joined by our guest, Cindy, a.k.a. Queen Rock. So before we get started with Don, what in the world does Queen Rock mean?
So one of my main focuses is Rocksteady, and my all-time favorite Rocksteady toy from the line is the Gatekeeper Rocksteady. So because I have a huge army of any and all Rocksteady characters created, any of those toys, Ben Baldwin from the Cool Kids Club calls me Queen Rock. Kind of just stuck.
Oh my gosh, very cool. Queen Rock. So instead of Kid Rock, we got Queen Rock. Now, for those who don't know, Gatekeeper Rocksteady is probably one of the hardest figures to find in the vintage toy line. What's yours like? Is it in good condition? Is he complete?
I don't really chase the complete ones. If I happen to get the weapons, I go for it. But mainly for me, it's all about the figure. I wish I had my custom Dan W. Barnes Gatekeeper Rocksteady that he made for me. If I can dig it out of my storage unit, I'll hit you up later with a picture of it. But it is one of my favorite pieces in my collection. And as far as how many Gatekeepers I have, I've lost count. But I do remember how much I spent on them. When I first started collecting them, I was getting like $40 a pop, and now they're over $100 to get one.
Army building Gatekeeper Rock. Wow, I've heard of army building foot soldiers, which is usually a Jackson or more in America, but I'm sure those gates are a couple Jacksons, if not maybe more now.
A huge army.
Oh my God. All right, so we're talking turtles today. We've done Leonardo, we've done Raphael, and now we're doing Donatello. So why is Donatello your favorite, and has he always been your favorite?
He has always been my favorite, mainly because he's a nerd, and I'm all about being a nerd. I'm a nerd myself, so I relate to his nerdiness.
Okay, gotcha there. And before we get into our top 5, we've been doing a little intro here. We do our favorite video game Donnie and favorite toy Donnie. So as we said before, you are a collector of Donatello. For me, I always like Undercover Don, not the one that's in the thousands. I think everybody had the Undercover Don as a kid. I wish they did all 4 turtles, but because he was the only one, and it was right around the time the first movie came out, Raphael in his trench coat, that Donnie was always mine, even though they never really wore that goofy face he came with, but I always liked that Donnie. So which is your favorite Donatello action figure?
That's actually my favorite Donatello action figure, too. So, yeah, we got something in common. That's actually my favorite Donnie also.
Yes. Well, we have something in common with the common because he's a great piece. He's still in $5 or $6 if anybody's just, is looking to get some turtle love for their shelfies. I just, why do you like that toy so much?
It's all about the trench coat.
Yeah.
All about the trench coat.
Sounds good to me. And you're also, like you say, you're a nerd, so I take it you're a gamer as well. We have live stream on Twitch, many Ninja Turtle games. For me, it's got to be the Nintendo Donnie. That guy saves that game. For anybody, even if you can't beat 1 or 2 levels, just use Don. His strength is ridiculous. His reach is ridiculous. And maybe one day I'll try beating that game without Donatello, but that would take a lot of practice. So how about yourself for Donatello in the gamer world?
It's tough. My favorite game changes depending on what I'm really into at the moment.
Okay.
Right now, I really fell in love with the Fortnite release of the Turtles.
Ooh.
Because the graphics on it are so good compared to the older video games, the 8-bit stuff. With this, you can actually see more detail on the turtles, and because it's an open world game, you can do more things with them. So at the moment, that's my favorite one.
I also like the color shading they do on the turtles too.
Oh, yeah.
Like action figures and stuff. They did a real good job with it. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but have you played the mini games of Ninja Turtles on it? There's actually a horror game on there that plays like Phasmophobia, where you have to run away from Krang. And there's actually like a beat 'em up mini game on there too.
I have not, and I was not aware. And now that I am, I'll be playing them.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, we just streamed that one not too long. It's pretty creepy, that Krang one, especially if you like jump scares. You're in for a treat.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so number 5 for me is going to be Ninja Turtles Batman Series 2. I don't know if you've read that one, but I really enjoyed how Donatello's the main star in regards to it. Bane's the main villain in this one. First volume was cool. They made the animated movie, but this one shows Donnie's character development. He actually feels guilt about what happens. He actually takes the venom himself. So he's like this big, crazy, giant Donatello. And I also like at the end where they don't want to reveal the whole story in case people haven't read this. I know Batman Donatello or in Batman TMNT isn't really talked about too much among Turtle fans. It's more like, for the hardcore fans. But I encourage you all to check out these comics. And even at the end, Batman gives Donnie like a little training, sequence that he uses for Robin because Donnie wants to up his ninja fighting. So real good for Donatello fans. What do you got at number 5?
Oh, I might catch some heat for this one, but let's see, number 5, I'd say the original cartoon.
Yeah, 87 Donnie. Okay.
Yeah, the original cartoon. And for me, only well, it's changed over the years. Before, totally my number 1 favorite. Now, my taste has changed. I'm a little bit older. I think more of the 87 cartoon to be something like the annoying younger sibling that you have.
Yeah.
The annoying sibling always wants to tag along and it's always, causing some trouble, making a mess kind of thing. So I think of them more like the annoying tween sibling to your 2003 older teenage brother.
Yeah, now you've been to Comic Cons. I've known you for a couple years. He's a good friend of mine. Have you ever met any of the voice actors, or did you ever get to meet Barry Gordon from the original?
I did. I
What was
told
that
him
like?
all about my love for Donnie, told him all about my martial arts background and how the Turtles is a big influence on my martial arts training. So we got to talk Turtles, got to talk martial arts. It was great. We took a picture together. Very nice guy.
Awesome. Glad to hear, and glad to get. What did you get anything signed by him?
Oh yeah, I got some Funko Pop sign. I know Funko Pops are kind of not
Yeah.
everybody is into Funko Pops, but they're just so easy to take to cons because they're just a little small box. So I got him to sign one of my Funkos. I got him to sign a print, so that was cool.
Oh, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any of the I've talked about it plenty of times on this show. Those 4, I mean, pretty much any Turtle person I met in the Turtle media is great. Ken Scott's also really cool. But just the 4 original voice actors are just really, really down to earth, and they'll chat with you for a couple minutes. So I'm glad you got to meet Barry and took advantage of that because again, these guys, they're getting up there in age, obviously. And I think it's still pretty cool. They're all traveling, and what's cool is they all travel as a team. It's not just hey, catch Townsend Coleman in Ohio, catch Rob Paulson in Kentucky. They all kind of travel together too, like a Beatles band. So, which is real nice for us fans. So number 4 for me, again, it gets hard to just pick 5 because there's so many versions. I'm actually watching this series, and I'm going to be kind of shocked that people may be shocked about this one, but I actually enjoy Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donnie. I like his style, and he's actually got good inventions. I mean, somebody else that you mentioned might be on my list later, but we all know Donatello's the invention guy, and I just like the Donatello's confidence in Rise. So I don't know if you've watched Rise or if you've collected any of the figures, but it's a little different. Obviously, I would say it's a little difficult maybe for us to watch at our age because, it's really, supposed to reach out to kids.
Right.
But I have had fun watching that one. So what do you got at number 4?
For me, number 4 is Turtles Forever.
Oh, now this is the comics Turtle Prime you're talking about, I presume, right?
Yes, absolutely. I can watch that all day long. I just love how there's so many iterations in the same movie, and you can see the different takes on the turtles and different personalities and the way they're portrayed. And I just love how they interact with each other. They seem to all just really annoy each other a lot, but then they also team up when it counts. So, and then Turtle Prime, Donnie Prime was definitely my favorite on that one.
I like that one a lot too. Just his voice was really good too, and just the style of the comics. So, and it's like, wait, black and white turtles? Ooh. What were your thoughts when you first saw that again? Because I didn't read any spoilers watching Turtles Forever, so I didn't know they were going to be in there. So what was it like just being like, wow, this is actually happening?
It's just the background of it being all black and white with the different cartoons in it. That's really what blew me away. The way they just mixed it and they melded together. That's really grabbed me.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice little treat as well. So number 3 for me is a movie that has died down. I like the third movie better, but for this one, Donatello and Secret of the Ooze, I've always liked. I apologize, I don't know the voice actor of Donnie in this one. I know Corey Feldman voiced him in 1 and 3. What I like though is this Donatello is actually comedic, and he has the best battle scenes. He's the only one who uses his weapon. Mikey's got combat. Leo just taunts with his swords. I think Raph does maybe something really small with his sai, but Donnie has the best action sequences, and I like him because he gets real emotional. He gets really, pissed off at Professor Jordan Perry, and he's the only one that actually shows emotion when he talks to Splinter and says, I thought we'd find out we were special. He's so heartbroken that he thinks that they were just a mistake and they weren't really, like special. So to show that, he actually has to, work with the professor to get Toka and Razor back down. And of course, just for nonsense, Donatello has Spider-Man's superhuman strength. I mean, Cindy, can you get thrown into a building and just say that hurt and shake it off like nothing happened like he did when he fought Toka? I mean, how strong is Donatello in that movie?
Crazy strong. I know I'd be needing an ambulance.
Yeah, he just falls into a building like, it's all right, I'm good. And then he just, saves the professor right after. So he's super strong, super combative, and quite comedic in that movie. So he made number 3 on my list. How about you? What do you got for number 3?
Number 3 for me is the 2003 Turtles. That show. Oh, yes. I love it. It's a little bit more grown up to me because when you compare them to the 87 cartoons, they're a little bit more mature, a little bit more grown up. They're what you think of, what I think of when I think of a teenager.
Now, Did you watch this? I think we're kind of close to the same age. We don't have to reveal numbers, but did you watch this when you were in high school when it first came out? Did you watch it all the way through?
I did not watch it all the way through, but I was in high school when it came out.
Okay, yeah, so that was me. I watched season 1 and 2, and then I did watch every now and then, because it had a great run too, about 5, I think 7 years, if you count fast forward and back to the sewers. So did you have a favorite moment in this show with Donatello or anything that calls to mind throughout that whole series?
Oh, man. It's been a while since I watched it. I honestly couldn't tell you. I couldn't remember anything specifically from it, but I do just remember the feeling of watching that show.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, for number 2, for me, I got to go 87 just because without Donatello in that show, the Turtles, I think, would have been dead about at least 30 or 40% of those episodes. I know Leonardo is the designated leader, but to me, it felt like Donnie was the leader in this show because of all the inventions and gadgets he had to save. They usually asked him what to do with the plans. Barry Gordon, phenomenal job with the voice acting. And, he was the only one, like they said, too, at David Wise with, Donatello's the first guy to speak in that show, to chill out homeboy with his street talk. So I want to ask you this too, Cindy, because you're a big 87 fan. How'd you like the crossover when they actually returned in the 2012 show?
I didn't catch that one.
You haven't watched the crossover show? Oh, my God.
I did not watch the crossover show. I know. I didn't watch it. That's yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to do a Discord watch party with you, my friend, very soon. I just showed
also watch it. Yeah.
Let me know when. Yes, because there's one show and then there's a whole hour mini marathon. So we definitely got to get you in on those because those are just, it touches the soul just to hear those voices again, just to hear them, interact with everybody. It is really, really good. My favorite Donnie episode from 87, it's tough to pick because there's so many that he stands out in. I actually like the one where he turns into King Kong, if you remember that one, with the little chocolate. That's and they're like, man, they spent a lot of, they must have spent the whole budget in this episode because of all the special effects they had in that one. So that one was for me at number 2. How about you?
Number 2 for me, Mirage Comics. The number 1 book. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Now, why that? Do you gotta just do you just appreciate his attitude more? Is that just like the Donatello you were born? Is that how you identify Donnie?
He's how I identify Donnie. That's kind of what I compare all Donnie iterations to. The grit of the book, and then also I'm very fortunate that I happen to have a signed copy of the second printing of that book.
Wow, signed copy by Mr. Eastman, or who's it signed by?
Eastman, yeah, Eastman.
Now, did you get to meet him also?
I did. Such a cool guy. A while back, I forget how many years ago it was now, but it was a few years ago. There was a contest where you entered and you had a chance to win a VIP pass to a special VIP pizza meet and greet night with him. And I entered it, totally forgot about it, was contacted later that I won. So I got to meet him, free tickets to Comic-Con, free invite to the pizza party. And it was just a private pizza party with a few VIP guests, which is really cool.
Wow. How are the other guests? I'm sure it was just a phenomenal experience for everybody involved. Did you make any new friends that night too? That had to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I did. I made some friends that I still keep in touch with to this day. So yeah, other shellheads.
It's very, very nice. All right, number one for me, it's pretty much been almost unanimous for all these shows, but it's the 1990 movie. Steve Barron again. Just, I mean, how can you top it? Corey Feldman, great voice actor with Donnie, good action. You know, it's just everything in there is great. And I always talk about this spy. I did on Epic Tales of the Sewer show too. Is when Raph loses the sign in the beginning of the movie, and Donnie tries to console him, and Raph shoves him off. And what I love is Donatello does not wuss out. He pushes him right back and say, "You want to go? Let's go."
Right.
To me, it shows Donatello not being a sissy that runs away. So how
Right.
about you for number one? Same.
That's my number one. Same thing. I think that's kind of everybody's unanimous number one.
Yeah, just dominant. Now, do you have a favorite scene in that movie?
It's actually it's the funny scene where they're in the bathroom and Donnie comes in and goes, "Ha!" and you see the actor in the mouth. I pause it on that scene so many times because it's both horrifying and hilarious.
Especially when and especially calling a Kodak moment, back in the
Oh
camera.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I just like his fighting in that movie too because it mixes. They always said it wasn't for kids. Of course, it was still for kids. They're fighting in April's apartment, and what does he do? He spits water out of his mouth with a foot soldier.
Yeah, and then the sound it makes when he spits the water out.
Yes, exactly. So I thought that movie was great from head to toe. So that's going to do it for our Donatellos. But I noticed in the back, too, we've known you for a long time. We've been both collectors. So if you'd like to stick around for a bit, we want to talk some collecting. So where did you get that from first? That awesome artwork right behind you.
Right there.
Yes.
So I had that custom made for me a while back. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the artist named Joe Lisi.
Okay.
Joe Lisi, I met him at a Comic-Con many years ago, and he's just such an awesome guy. He's a great artist. I call him a great friend of mine. And I just had an idea for this cool mashup between Mortal Kombat and Ninja Turtles. What would the Ninja Turtles look like as Mortal Kombat characters? And I came to him with this idea, and this is what he came up with. And it is one of my, if not the favorite custom art piece that I have.
And is that how you wanted them all to be? Like, you see Raiden down there. It looks like Krang is Goro. Were those all your ideas in your head, like who they would be?
Oh no, I told him, I gave him 100% free artistic reign. I told him, this is my idea. Mortal Kombat's Ninja Turtles mashup, make it happen. Whatever you visualize, do it. And this is what he came up with.
Fantastic. Now, what started your collecting journey? We all, collected as kids, but nowadays, this is where you can be thankful for technology because I would have never networked with you, so many other collecting friends I made throughout the years. When did you have any goals when you started collecting, and when did you start this journey of like, you know what, I want to go after a whole bunch of turtle stuff and the Rocksteady idea too, your Army Rocksteady?
I started getting back into collecting about 10 years ago, I would say, because we're in 2025 now. So around 2015-ish, I'd say I started collecting again. I don't know. I was going through a tough time, I was feeling kind of down, and then I just started feeling like, I have this overwhelming feeling of wanting to, fill my house with nostalgia. Things that just give me feel good feelings, remind me of my childhood. And then I thought about, turtles. I love the turtles. I always have, but I didn't really collect anything. I played with them when I was a kid, but I didn't have a collection of them. And then I just started thinking back, what if I start collecting all of my old toys? And it just kind of spiraled from there. And then I just started collecting all of my old turtle toys. My original goal was just to have the original line of the 88 turtles. And then from there, it kind of spiraled and snowballed. And now, 10 years later, nothing fits in my house. So everything's sitting in a storage unit until I can get a bigger place to display everything the way I want it to.
Oh my God, very nice. So when you started this journey, what was your goal? Did you have any goals in mind, or were you just collecting? Like for me, I wanted to try, like most of us amateur, I guess you call amateurs. We've talked to Josh a lot, Melkert, you know him as well. Everyone's goal is I want to get all the turtles from 87 to present day. And it's like when you wake up and it's like scratches, what? Hotspot is what?
Yeah.
I don't think that's in my budget. So did you have any like goals or what you were trying to go for? Because I think you're like me. I mean, nowadays, I kind of look back and I'd rather go for the complete figures, but the way to go is just loose bare bones, just to save a couple bucks.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Now you were collecting as well?
For me, I was originally, my intent was to collect everything. So
Okay.
get one of each sealed, one of each loose complete, so I can have a collection of one of everything. And, never really ends up that way. Along the way, you end up realizing, I actually want to focus on this. And thus became the army known as my Rocksteady Army. I lost track of how many figures I have, and it's all about Rocksteady now.
Oh my God, love it, love it, love it. Queen Rock. So when you were collecting these turtles and whatnot, did you ever find any obscure turtle pieces in your collection? Because we all know turtles is a merchandising feast. So did you buy any like the toothbrushes? Like, again, I'm sure you're like me, you go to cons, you go to flea markets, garage sales. Is there any stuff that's just like, I gotta buy it, I don't care, it's turtles? Anything that's so out of the ordinary?
I'm really into turtle merch lately.
Okay.
So anything I can find, I will grab it. I do have a sealed toothbrush. I've got some sealed curtains. I just bought a Leonora cookie jar. And then I just picked up this painter's cap. So this is one of my main focuses right now is I'm trying to track down as many Turtles painter caps I can find.
What year is that from? I've never seen that before. Does it have a year on there? Is it from our
Let me see.
generation?
It doesn't have the year on it.
Okay.
No, but they are, do you know how hard these are to find? They are not easy to find. And most of them are children's sizes, so they're not going to fit your head when you get them. But yeah, I'm trying to track down as many of these as I can.
Very wild. I like those. So, any advice you have for any of our viewers here on Shellonomics, whether you're listening on YouTube or Spotify, just, in regards to budgeting and just, to, I guess, keep yourself safe? Because, again, we've all had those. There's unfortunately tons of scammers out there. Right now, I'm into Disney Lorcana. And what I've noticed is it's also big in the TMNT Illinois group. When you
Mm,
post something, it's almost, I think, number one is make sure you write your name and date, unless you're in a group that, is above that, where you kind of like get into some really nice groups. But, to make sure you're not buying anything fake, because I was going to buy 2 Dumbo cards that are worth $50 each. I was ready to go. And I said, before I buy, can you please just send a photo of all the pictures? And he said, oh, I can't do that, but can you just send your payments? Like, red flag, bye-bye.
red
Have a nice day.
flag.
And it's like, I don't want to report you because I'm not 1,000% sure. I'd like to, but I didn't get, I just end it and walk away and hope nobody falls for that. So just for you, when it comes to, I guess, buying someone from a collector, not on eBay, not on, I guess, Whatnot or any of those, just like, I guess let's just talk Facebook groups, because a lot of people use Facebook Marketplace,
Right.
Facebook groups. So when you're looking for something, what's the process you go through for collecting?
Research, research, research. First thing I do is I look at the picture. Does this look like something that could have been made? Does a stamp on it look real as far as the time stamp, the person's name? Does it look like they just digitally added it in there? And then I look at their profile. How many friends does this person have? Or how many groups is this person in? And then I also, make a mass post in the group thinking about doing a transaction with this person. Can I please have references? Research, references, and then also more pictures via Messenger. So if all you have is the one picture you posted in the group for sale, that's not going to do it for me. I want to see more real-time pictures of this in different positions to know that it's not something that you just grabbed off like a stock image off a website. If you have the item in your hand, you can manipulate it and move around, I'm more likely to believe that you actually have it on you.
Okay, sounds good to me. That's exactly what I've been doing now too, and
Mm-hmm.
I like that reference tip too. That's a real good point, because again, if someone, and you may be there first, but I highly doubt it nowadays in 2025. Just, hey, has anyone made a deal with this person? And there's other groups you can ask
Mm-hmm.
too if you don't just want to ask in that group. So, do you ever do any trades? That was another, and I just like, how do your trades work? I don't really do trades because I don't really know how to find like even keel. But have you ever made trades, and if so, like, what's some advice in regards to trading?
Don't trade with anybody you don't know. So also be aware of who's sending the item first. That's a big thing. I've only traded people that have really good reputations for completing trades. And also it's important to note the value of the items that you're trading. So be aware of getting that insurance on your package when you're sending it out. But I don't trade with anybody I don't know, only with people that I have long-standing relationships with.
Makes sense to me too, and I also like that spot you brought in there too. Very well done. We want to talk a little bit more about your martial arts. Now, did the Ninja Turtles inspire you to do martial arts? Like Michelle Ivy, she just got tired of being bullied. What was your calling to actually get into martial arts?
For me, honestly, it was part of my mental health journey. So, in addition to my influence from the Turtles and other movies like Mortal Kombat, like the Mortal Kombat game and series, and thinking about how cool it would be to do those kind of things, and then Bruce Lee, and also, have you ever seen the movie Last Dragon?
Enter the Dragon, yes. Last Dragon, no.
You've
I
got
guess
to
we're gonna
watch
have to
it.
make a double Discord this weekend.
Yes,
Okay.
so good. You have to watch it. It's
Okay.
phenomenal.
Last
Such a
Dragon.
great movie. That also influenced my martial arts journey. But I don't know. I was going through kind of a mental health crisis at the time. I wasn't feeling great about myself. I was having, I had low self-esteem. I just wasn't feeling good. There was not a whole lot of positive energy around me. And one day I just decided, I've got the time. Let me try this. I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to be a Ninja Turtle. So let me try out a class and see what I think. Went to the class, loved it, fell in love with it, was definitely intimidated because if you think about all the high flying kicks and the moves you do, it doesn't really feel like something that's feasible, like for an average person to do. But I joined. I have been doing it now for about 4 years. I am due to get my black belt in December. I test for my black belt this December. It's a very intense test, 2 hours long. I have to test in front of a bunch of different masters. Very difficult. I have to give a speech. And so I've got that coming up in December, testing for my first degree black belt. And then I'll have provided I pass, which I feel pretty good about. I'll have my black belt ceremony in this coming June of next year, where they will give me my embroidered official first degree black belt.
Gosh, well, congratulations on it. I grew up watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and
Oh
Jason
yeah,
and Tommy would always say martial art. Oh, even Chuck Norris too would say, martial arts, provides self-confidence. So, would you say martial arts has elevated your confidence in yourself?
absolutely. I definitely feel more confident, more secure myself. Um, I don't know. I feel very proud of where I started and where I am now. Those high flying kicks that I saw that were just unattainable goals, I can now do. So it just feels good to see what kind of progress I've made along the way.
I think Bruce Lee says something along the lines of, he's not afraid of the man who knows 1,000 different kicks.
Uh-huh.
He's afraid of the one who knows one kick and does it 1,000 times, something
Yeah.
similar to that. So how long does it take you to practice these, moves, so to speak, until you're, because I'm sure there had to be some frustration as a beginner, but like, what's your routine in order to actually get these moves down?
Practice, practice, practice. Everything is very difficult when you first start out, knowing what position to put your feet in, knowing, your center of gravity and understanding the way your body moves and having control over your movements. It all takes repetition and criticism, like constructive criticism from your master. So doing something, having someone critique it, doing it again, getting another critique and doing it again. So the repetition and the coaching.
Sounds good to me. Now, also, we're not going to talk too much spirituality on this podcast, but I do want to talk about having a clear peace of mind. Now, with martial arts, do they help you? How does martial arts help you focus? And do you have your own meditation routines?
It does help me focus. And because of martial arts, I am able to have my own meditation routine. A lot of it is centering yourself, focusing on your breathing and clearing your mind. I'm not able to do my high kicks or my punches, my striking, my sword fighting. I can't do any of that unless my mind is clear and I'm focusing on a task at hand. So that has really helped with that. It's helped improve my breathing techniques also.
Wow. Well, for some of you, I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, but a lot of us like to do 50 things at once, especially, we're gaming. We have two monitors up. I've got my toys here. I've got my dog who wants to go out when we're done with this podcast again. How do you, I guess, what's a quick tip for those who are not, martial artists, but just need to get that peace of mind real quick? Is there anything you do for a quick jolt to cleanse your mind without, having caffeine or any, food or whatnot? Just anything to just kind of bring you back to center?
Honestly, for me, it's controlled breathing. So I will take a deep breath, count how far I take it in, and then count that many, letting it out, and continue doing that. It gives me a sort of a euphoric high feeling, and it helps clear my mind, and I'm able to focus on a task at hand. So for me, it's all about breathing and counting.
See, again, like I say, you got a pro out there, or you can just check this podcast out with Cindy right here. I thank you for that. as we slowly start bringing this podcast in for a landing, I did want to talk a little bit more on your turtle collecting. What's been, I guess, like, it's really hard to choose one, but what's been your favorite memory from collecting and just the whole Ninja Turtle community as a whole?
For me, it's the people that I've met, the friendships I've made over the years, and knowing that in these relationships I've created that you have someone there for you. Even if you haven't met the people yet, there are a few friends of mine from this turtle club that I'm in that I haven't met in person, but I feel like they are my greatest friends in the world that I've known for years. So it's all about the relationships and the memories you can build with those people. And I've had some great exchanges with these friends of mine. You know, Jeremiah Hart's one of them, Ben Baldwin's another. You now who I've known for a few years. So just those friendships you make leave lasting impact.
Yeah, and we got those magnets you got me for Christmas up in my fridge last year, too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's growing. It's growing. I appreciate the support with that. All right, Cindy, as we bring this in, I thank you for your time. If other Turtle fans want to get in touch with you on your collection, do you have an Instagram or something you can share with us?
I do. I do. It's Cindy MTZ13. Just look that up and you'll find me.
Sounds good. Final question for you. Do you have a favorite Donatello quote for us from any of the movies or anything? Anything that comes to mind?
Quote. Not one that I can think of at the moment.
You want to just do the Farrah Jacques song for us then from Turtles 2? I'm kidding. All right, Cindy, we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. And good luck getting more of those hats.
All right. See you later. Peace.